Laughing Vikings Live. High vibe chats with actors, comedians, and creators, plus stand-up comedy, sketch comedy, and most importantly, you. That's right, join us every Monday for new episodes, and you can be a part of the show on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch. Ask questions and interact in the comments, and make sure to share this with your actor, comedian, and creator friends so they can be a part of the show too. Can't make a live show? No problem. You can catch up on your favorite podcast platform and visit laughingvikings.com to find out how you can join the cast and crew. All right, it's time for today's show. Buckle up and make sure you stick around to the end because we have a special surprise for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Laughing Vikings Live. Happy Monday Fun Day. Let's go. Yes, episode 79. We are one shy of 4 score of podcasts. Abraham Lincoln would be proud.
He would be.
4 score in 7 years, something like that.
I think so.
I'm
pretty sure. 90% sure.
Abraham Lincoln, if you're listening and we botched your catchphrase, we are so sorry. But I believe he was the one who said 4 score and 7 years ago, although he didn't talk like that, I'm sure. But he did have a big beard and a top hat.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have to let us know in the comments for all of you American history buffs. Is he the guy who talked about 4 score? What is 4 score? 4 score is 420s. Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's
80. 4 score is 80.
Yeah.
Americans and their fucked up fucking measuring things, you know?
I mean, you're part American, so
Facebook, I am 50-50, and you'll notice that I am fully on board with the metric system because that is the only system that makes any sense whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Facebook user, interesting name, Facebook user. Wow,
great name.
Your it's on their birth certificate. It says,
"Oh wow,
Facebook user."
Damn, before the times. That's great.
Well, if it's a boy, I would like Twitter user, but if it's a girl, I think we should go with Facebook user.
I like that. It has a good ring to it, you know.
Lincoln
Facebook
had the
user.
Well, good. We got validation there. Lincoln had the top hat. I like the idea of a person at home. Let us know who you are, Facebook user, or answer the permission thing that StreamYard sends you so that we can actually see your name. But I really like the idea that someone's watching right now, and it's just like, yeah, I need to let these people know in this podcast that yes, in fact, Abraham Lincoln did have the top hat. Oh, it's Joanna. Hey, Joanna. She knows. Welcome to the podcast, Joanna. Joanna is from Kansas City. So she's deep in the heart of America. And if anyone knows what kind of hat Abraham Lincoln wore, it's Joanna from Kansas City. Yes. How are you, BK?
I am doing really well, Lars. It was a great week here at LV, and it was very busy, and it was a lot of fun auditions here. I had over 20 sessions last week, and that was incredibly fun.
Nice. Yeah, you were busy. You're busy because I was down in the heartland myself. I was not here. I drove to Texas and back on the March break. So that's 2,500 miles each way. Mm-hmm. And one of the things we did is we stopped in St. Louis to meet Joanna, who is in our conservatory. She lives in Kansas City. She drove 4 hours east to St. Louis. We drove 4 hours north from Memphis on the same day. And we met under the St. Louis Gateway Arch, which is a 650-foot U in St. Louis. It's a spectacular arch. Mm-hmm. Just one of the archiest arches you'll ever see. It's basically... I think McDonald's ripped it off, but they were like, no, we're going to double it up and make ours golden. We're going to copy St. Louis Arch, but we're going to double it, and then we're going to turn it golden, and that's what they did. And fun fact about I read up. I like to wiki things. Like anytime I go to a city, I wiki it so I know all the fun facts, the weird little quirks. Fun fact about you want to hear the Gateway Arch fun facts?
I would love to hear what you found on Wikipedia, Lars. Go.
So, and obviously everything on Wikipedia is 100% factual because it's not like
Yes,
anyone can just hop on Wikipedia and just say what they want.
I don't think anyone's arguing that point, Lars.
No, hopefully not, because it is 100% factual. There are definitely no alternative facts on Wikipedia. So when they built the archway, so when construction companies are making big buildings, they have to get insurance to insure the whole thing, and so the insurance adjusters have to figure out the just the math on how dangerous or how deadly or what the risk is. And Joanna says, if it's on the internet, it's true. I've done my research. I've been doing my research, and what I found on a YouTube video, you should watch it, is that everything on the internet is true. And so I looked it up, and the insurance company actually, in their calculations, they predicted, and their rates based on their predictions for the insurance, like to green light the production, because this thing is 600 feet tall in the middle of the air. There had to be people on there who at certain points weren't really in any kind of safety harness, like they're building it up as they go. The insurance company predicted that, I think the number was 11 people would die in the construction of this. So imagine being on a construction crew and filling out the insurance, and they're like, yeah, we're pretty sure based on our estimations and what you're planning to do, there will be 11 of you that die, and here's your insurance for this. And the funnest fact of all is nobody died, which means somebody got screwed on their insurance because they paid the rates for an insurance project that expecting 11 people to die, and nobody died. So they way overpaid, which is a great scam if you're an insurance company. You're like, by my math, like 700 or 800 people are probably going to die on this. So it's going to be very expensive for your insurance. But an even funner / not so funner fact is there has been one person who died, and he was doing like a PR publicity stunt. And he jumped out of a plane and parachuted to the top of the arch and landed, pulled that off successfully. And then the second phase was he was then going to base jump, which is like low-level skydiving. He was going to base jump from 650 feet off the top of the arch, and his second parachute did not open, and he just landed on the ground and died. So nobody died in the construction, but one guy lived from the plane to the top of the arch, but then didn't live from the arch to the ground because his parachute did not open.
Shit.
Yeah. Sorry to start the podcast on such a somber note. It's been a while though, so I don't know if too soon. Too soon.
I don't know. I think that's fine. It was a good story. I was wrapped up in it. I enjoyed that.
What a weird thing too, because you'd think the tougher part would be jumping out of a plane and parachuting to land on top of this precarious arch, and then he's like, take a deep breath, like, oh, great, I'm only 650 feet from the ground now. and then he jumped and was like, hello, and just imagine those last few thoughts, like, oh fuck, oh shit. And then he's like, always remember I landed the first part of this. I did the first part successfully. Remember me always. And then he landed. Close but no cigar, says Joanna. Yeah. Tough one. Again, for any of you who have lost any family members in tragic base jumping accidents off the St. Louis Golden Arch, I apologize to you. And we will remember you always. Got dark here, yeah? I'm in a weird mood.
We went in a very different direction with this podcast today.
Yeah, usually we're very aspirational, inspirational, educational. And today, I just want to remember the one guy who died when there were supposed to be 11 guys. So really, it's an uplifting story. There should have been 12 people who died, and only one died. And he had nothing to do with the construction of it.
I mean, I'm surprised it was made. Is it made completely out of gold? Or is it just like the outside is coated in gold?
Who said it was gold? I don't think any of it's gold. I thought you said
it was partly gold.
Oh no, I said the golden arches. I said McDonald's copied it.
Okay. I misheard you. That is my bad.
Stay with it. You've been reading up on the wrong parts of Wikipedia. Yeah, Joanna says blame the Facebook user. Yes.
We will.
I want to share another fun fact. This is one of my favorite things about the whole trip. So I'll tell you the trip. The trip back actually was essentially Houston. We drove 9 hours to Memphis. We stayed overnight in Memphis. Then we drove 4 hours north to St. Louis, met Joanna, aka Facebook user in St. Louis for lunch.
Mhm.
Then we drove 5 hours east to Cincinnati. We stayed in Cincinnati overnight. And then we drove 6.5 hours to Buffalo. We met Simba, who was also in the conservatory in Buffalo. We had a delicious Thai dinner because everyone knows you want Thai food, you go to Buffalo.
You go to Buffalo. Yeah. No other place for it, really.
Yeah, I think that's what they're known for. Buffalo Thai food, right? Buffalo.
Yep.
Yeah, like, ooh, I love those buffalo. Buffalo. Anyways,
I can hear it sizzling now. Did you ever find an Ian's Pizza?
No, we did not. No.
Fair.
But I can say completely to you and apologetically, I did not look for an Ian's Pizza. I thought about it at one point. I was like, oh, Ian's Pizza, but we were meeting at a specific area, so I didn't go out of my way to do it. So next time. Yeah. So the story is on day one, somewhere between, it was in Arkansas. I remember that. So we drove to, it's Texas, then Arkansas, and then into Tennessee. So on our way from Houston to Memphis at a Shell station, we stopped for gas and bathroom break, and I went into this bathroom. And Brandon, let me tell you, the only way to describe the odor in this bathroom was if the janitor hired to clean the bathroom knew he was either going to quit or had been fired that same day, and this was like, you're out of here, but clean the bathroom one last time. And as a joke, he, instead of using clean mop water with soap, it smelled like he just mopped the whole place down with piss. And it was just like the entire bathroom was just like, the second you walked into it, it reeked, and it was quite dirty as well.
Could you imagine like a Febreze spray that's just like sunlight piss or something like that?
Hot piss. It's just called hot piss.
Hot piss.
Hot piss.
Yeah, it smells like a real hot piss.
One sec.
I don't know what he's gonna bring everybody, but it's gonna be good. All right. Everyone, can you smell that hot piss from here?
Summer, as Ashley says, hot summer piss. Hot summer piss.
Hot summer piss. Nothing like it.
Reminds me of summer camp. Oh, the good old days. Back to the good old days.
Back to the good old days.
And you spray it on your laundry so that people don't steal your laundry at the laundromat because they think it's dirty, but it's actually clean.
Well, I mean, we've talked on this podcast before about peeing on your work, so it's the same thing. It's the same thing, really.
So
back
to the piss-filled urinal bathroom.
Sorry, I took us away.
That wasn't even my favorite thing. If you think that I went on a 5,000 kilometer road trip in 1 week, and my favorite thing about it was a bathroom covered in piss, that was not it.
I would be upset for you that was. You
can read my journal.
Yeah,
read my journal. It's just like day one.
Yeah,
a hot piss bathroom. So in this bathroom in Arkansas, very rural Arkansas, just off the highway, scratched into the wall said, "Joe Biden is a dumb son of a bitch." Was it dumb or stupid? You remember? Stupid. Yeah, it was. Joe Biden is a stupid son of a bitch. And we were laughing about it. I'm like, who is this person that is in the bathroom in rural Arkansas and is just like, you know what? I'm gonna speak my mind in here. I'm gonna get the word out. Like, was it a last part of me is like, was Donald Trump in this bathroom like days before the election? And was like, I gotta do something. I think
he might have cleaned it.
He might have cleaned it. Yeah,
he might have cleaned it.
Yeah. Just Joe Biden is a stupid son of a bitch. And then we we were talking about this person. I'm like, what if that, like, if it was, I'm picturing the presidential debates, and in front of one of the candidates, like Joe Biden is opposite him, and he's got his notepad there, and it just says Joe Biden, and then there's just two things: stupid and mother was a bitch. That's just all of the talking points is right there. And then President Trump, what, not to get too political here, this isn't a political show, but President Trump, what is your plan? What is your economic plan to bolster the American economy? Joe Biden's a stupid son of a bitch.
Well done, Mr. President.
Mom was a bitch. And I can say that right now because I'm assuming Joe Biden's mom has died long, long ago, which is also one of the weird things about, I think, about taking a jab at an old man's mother by calling him a son of a bitch. It's a weird flex, is what I'm saying. Weird flex. Very weird flex. But
doesn't it feel good?
I mean, it felt good to that guy. I bet that guy, after mopping that entire bathroom with piss and then carving Joe Biden as a stupid son of a bitch into it, was like, yeah, my work's done. My work is done. Hey, honey, you're not going to believe what I did today. I took care of that thing. Yeah.
Oh, you wrote in the bathroom today, like you were saying for months.
Told you I'd do it. Do not doubt. Never doubt me again. Never doubt me. I'll do it.
Never.
I'll do it.
Never will.
Yeah. So that was fun. Yeah. This is the most we've talked about a piss-filled bathroom ever on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always the first
piss-filled bathroom on the podcast.
And you guys stuck around to episode 79. There's been 78 other stellar episodes filled with useful information. And then every once in a while, we got to have one like this. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Every time you need a zombie vampire episode where you just talk about piss on a bathroom floor.
And if you're wondering what Brandon's talking about, you need to go back into our archives of podcast episodes. And one of them is called Zombie Vampires. Was it zombie vampires or vampire zombies? And is there a difference?
I think it was vampire zombies. Because that sounds better.
We did also talk about the fact that maybe there's both. Like there's the vampires.
Yeah.
Who are zombified. So are they vampire zombies? I don't know how it works. I forget the science.
I think it depends on like your first form. So like if you're a zombie first. Yeah.
So if you're a zombie first, so if you're a zombie and you get bit by a vampire, you're a zombie vampire.
Yeah. And then if you're a vampire and you're bit by a zombie, and you're a vampire zombie. Yeah.
I really think now that I'm saying it, I'm like, this is a great fucking movie.
Oh yeah.
Vampires versus zombies. That's pretty solid. And I think we also did we decide who would win?
Oh no. We can't decide who would win. How would we know yet? We haven't written the script.
No hypothesis?
I mean, I would say it would be the vampire zombies would win. Because like vampires are originally stronger than zombies.
Stronger. Maybe they're smarter. They're already immortal. But the zombies are undead.
I mean, so considering zombies consume brains, why aren't they smarter than vampires?
It's a great question that we will never know.
No.
Joanna, do you want to?
Joanna is Team Vampire Zombies. Nice. Right. Thank you, Joanna.
What we're actually describing is this was the original rough draft of Twilight, and then they switched the zombies to werewolves. I don't know if this zombie vampire thing's working out. All right. Was there anything that we actually had planned to talk about? I think there is. This has been 22 minutes of piss-filled vampire zombies. Mm-hmm. What else did we want to talk about? BK Broiler?
Well, let's...
Oh, you go ahead.
No, you go. I insist. I insist that you go.
Okay.
You had a bigger O.
All right. There's no easy way to segue out of vampire zombie bathrums.
Go for it, Lars.
I will attempt. This is a client shout out. One of our favorites here in the studio. Yeah. She's a fantastic comedian. She's a fantastic actor. Rena Taylor. Some people may know her as Morena Taylor, but we know her familiarly as Rena Taylor. She's great. She's hilarious. what I love about her is she's completely fearless. She doesn't give a fuck. She's willing to do anything. On stage, she's really hilarious too. Her act outs are great. Her voices are great. Everything that she does is awesome. And she was in the studio last week with Brandon, and then she left this Google note, this Google review, and she says, the folks at Laughing Vikings are lifesavers. And I want to point out lifesavers were in capital letters, and I'm assuming she means that we saved her life and not that we were delicious candies, delicious fruit flavored candies. We are lifesavers. Any anxiety I feel from a last minute request to read melts away as soon as I walk into those doors, right? Which we've talked about. That's why we clap people in, clap people out. You get here and you're like, I can relax now. And then she continues, shout out to Brandon, who is a riff and director extraordinaire. She didn't put all those R's in there. I'm taking a little creative liberty and rolling my R's there. She said extraordinaire. He takes the time to help you develop a strong POV, point of view, get the best takes, and I walk out of every read having had so much fun. Highly recommend! Exclamation point. So thank you, Rena Taylor, and shout out to BK Broiler for being a riff director extraordinaire.
Yeah, she was so much. She's always so much fun to work with. You're 100% right. She is fearless. She goes for it. She's so much fun to watch and so much fun to work with.
She has no shame. I think that's it. She has no shame or what's the word? Self-consciousness, where people they don't want to do something or they don't want to look like a certain way. And she just doesn't care. She's great. Joao Pino, all the way from Portugal. Hello. Good to see you, Joao. Joao had a hilarious
Blur.
moment.
Hello, Blur.
Oh, my blurry. I'm back. I'm moving really quick.
Ooh, how's it going?
Let's try this again.
Oh, he's gone. And he's back.
I'm back. Can you guys see me? Look into my eyes. Okay. And yeah, so that was great. So do we have any other client shout outs we want to talk about today?
Not any new ones this week. We've had a couple new people at the studio, and that's been really exciting. We've been working with a lot more kids recently, especially with a new series coming out for kids. So that's been really exciting. And it's been an interesting learning curve because I've never had to teach children acting before. Have you, Lars?
Not specifically. I've run sessions with kids, but you're right. It's a different experience because dealing with kids is just different than dealing with adults. You have to communicate with them a different way. And I think there's a focus on making sure they're having fun. And then the other complicating factor with a lot of actors is, with a lot of child actors is, do they really want to be doing it? Or is this like a stage parent that's kind of pressuring them to do it because they wanted to be an actor or they're trying to cash in on some money? I don't think that's ever the case with people that we've seen here, but it's a challenging thing for a kid because it's like kids just want to be kids. So if they can just be a kid and that works on camera, great. But if they want to be a kid and what they think they got to do on camera is antithetical to being a kid, then it's just this weird, we're trying to force someone to do something they don't want to do, which obviously is not going to work out well. Yes. And, that's funny. Can you put this, here, put this one up. Joanna Whaley says, I want to get my passport and go to Canada just so I can have the Laughing Viking experience and leave a Google review. Well, guess what, Joanna? You can leave a Google review without being in Canada, but I do appreciate the fact that you want to get the genuine in-person experience here at the studio. But we also run Zoom sessions. So no matter where you are, could be Kansas City, could be Portugal, could be Mexico, wherever you are in the world, we can run sessions with you, and then you can leave a Google review, or you can just leave one if you want to, and you can maybe base your review based on these podcasts rather than based on a audition session. So it's up to you. Sorry, continue. You're saying kids.
Well, you were talking about the working with kids and how you've been working with them and what are the best practices you've found to work with them and getting them to have more fun with their auditions, Lars?
I mean, I think with any actor, a big part of it is you want people to relax, you want people to concentrate, and you want people to use their imagination. So, and with kids, especially me being a big, large man with a big, loud voice and physically imposing to some people,
Mhm.
it's being friendly with them, being a little goofy, making sure I'm smiling so that I'm not looking like resting villain face when they meet me,
Mhm.
just so that they'll come out of their shell. And then the other thing is I tend to talk to them more on their level. Like I don't talk to them like they're kids. I talk to them like I'm kind of one of them. So I maybe
Mhm.
bring my goofiness up a little bit. But also, I don't talk to them like from a position of authority, like I'm their dad or their
Oh,
uncle
yeah.
or anything. It's like I straight talk them and have fun with them. And because I think a big part of child actor is the best case scenario is just, and maybe this is the best case scenario for all actors, is if just you want the essence of them as a real human being, like their authentic essence coming through so that they can just
Mhm.
really roll the camera as long as they know their lines and they know the gist of the scene, and they've made some strong choices. But often with child actors, it's just they're this precocious, perfect, not no, perfectly unperfect kid who just has this spontaneity to them and an energy to them. So it's about capturing that versus having to like pull teeth or like yank it out of them to
Yeah.
create this performance. It's you really got to find, it seems anyways, especially from watching movies, when you watch, especially really young kids, it's just they're just like they're delightful and they're really interesting to watch just as kids. So if you can get them to relax and just be their natural selves, then that seems to make sense. That's been my experience. But I haven't done that many. Like we've done hundreds or thousands of adult sessions, and maybe I've done a couple dozen sessions with kids, but it's always really fun
Mhm.
working with them. So yeah.
Yeah, because it's always really interesting scenes, and, like, they're always doing very interesting stuff, so, like, that's what I've been really latching onto when working with them, like, finding these cool moments where, like, they get excited about, or I'll describe it as, like, a superhero moment, and they'll get really excited about that, or, like, uh, if they like musicals, which some of them have, like I can relate it on that level as well because I also really love musicals and like especially if we find a common ground of something that we both really love, that I can pull something out of that just to enforce the scene. And then because one, especially when you see someone talking about something you love or they love, like their eyes light up, and so like they feel that moment because they're like, oh yeah, I love the producers, it's my favorite musical, and like their eyes will go like, yeah, it was great, I love this moment and I want this and I want that, and like it, when you get those types of reactions, that's what really makes things special and really
Right.
makes
Yeah.
a tape special.
Yeah, and that's what you're describing is when their true essence and true self as a
Yeah.
kid, their childlike qualities come out, and you see them like, oh, this is a real playful kid with real enthusiasm. And I think that's a good, more so maybe than adult actors, is a little bit more of tapping into like I don't know, I don't want to say tapping into their life experience because they don't have a ton, but helping them understand what's happening in the scene. I think you do that more with a kid
Yeah.
than an adult. Like maybe because an adult will see a scene and like quote unquote get it maybe faster, and maybe if a kid is looking at the words but not really getting the big picture on the type of relationship or the type of scenario that this is, and then
Hmm.
helping them like unlock that where it's like, oh, I see, and you relate to them, and then they're like, oh, now I get it and I understand what's actually happening in this scene. I think maybe there's a little bit more of that, where your coaching is just helping them understand the scenario that they're in, and then
Hmm.
they can just unlock their imagination or relate it to a real experience that way. That's been my experience anyways. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really fun. And speaking of I'll relate this to the child actor thing. Is I had the opportunity this past weekend to moderate a casting director session at Movie Expo. Shout out to the Movie Expo and Taz Garcia. Actors Audition Club was one of the title sponsors of the entire event, and we specifically sponsored the casting director. I believe it was called Audition Secrets: How to Impress the Casting Director, or How to Impress Casting. And it was a fantastic panel. If I were to list all of their credits right now, we would literally spend the entire episode just talking about their credits. But it was Ilona Smythe, who is a casting director here in Canada. She casts out of Ottawa. She's done a ton of TV, film, commercials. And then it was also Lisa Parison, who's a fantastic casting director. They're both award-winning casting directors. Lisa is based in Toronto. And the third was Harriet Greenspan, who is based in LA. And she also has a ridiculous resume and has cast a bunch of Nickelodeon projects and all kinds of movies, TV, film.
She has a book coming out, right?
Yeah, she has a book already out. The interesting thing about Harriet is she's also an acting coach as well. So she specifically does a lot of one-on-one coaching with actors, and she's a casting director as well. So she's working and I assume maybe she was an actor earlier in her career herself. So that's a little more interesting or different perspective, I think, working on really both sides of it. But the reason I want to relate it is they were all amazing. They were great answers and really demystifying the casting process for any of the people who attended the panel. But Lisa Parison, she was casting the project that you're referring to, which is an iconic Canadian show. And it was an open casting. So they were doing a real wide casting, looking for these kids who are diamonds in the rough and maybe these quote unquote naturals, or just undiscovered talent who maybe haven't worked on too many shows before. And she received, get this, 5,600 self-tapes. And we helped, what we do, maybe 6 or 8 or 10 here in
maybe a dozen or so.
Yeah, maybe a dozen of those. So she had 5,600 auditions, and the fun thing that they did is they gave everyone the same scene so that they were comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges. And it was a very wide cast, like age 13 to 20 or something like that. But can you imagine? I think she said, I don't know if you remember, I think you were on the panel or you were watching, but I think she said it was like 8 or 10 days just watching all of these tapes and then building a short list and condensing them down and then forwarding the top ones to the producers. But what a huge opportunity for those kids. And I'm sure it was really fun for her to find these kids, especially the ones who aren't necessarily known, or I'm sure there was a lot who weren't represented as well.
Yeah.
Didn't have agents.
Yeah, because she was saying it was about half.
Yeah.
Probably close to half that were unrepresented. So
yeah. So,
it's an interesting...
that was really cool. And that was the one thing that she mentioned. And if you remember in those sessions, the slate was the usual name, height, age, whatever. And then it was talk about something that you're interested in. And she mentioned specifically in that panel with kids, she really wants to get beyond the sides and beyond the scene and get a sense for the essence of the kid. Also to get a sense, do they really want to be there in the room, or are they being like begrudgingly dragged out to all these auditions by their parents and maybe they're not happy about it. But yeah, it was really cool to hear them talk. And the panel in general, I think the thing that a lot of actors don't realize, they put casting directors way up on this gatekeeper pedestal and a separation, like, oh, I need to impress them and make them happy, and I don't want to say and do the wrong things. And what they really iterated throughout that casting session was that they're on the side of actors, and they love actors, they love artists, they love TV, film, and they love the industry, and they're just there as a collaborator. So I think every actor needs to see casting directors as a collaborator. You're there, it's your space to create, but you're creating with them, and you're going in there to offer yourself to them, not to seek approval or to work on seeking validation from them or to make them like you or any of that, or to cross your fingers that, oh my God, I hope I'm making the right decisions and I'm not making a mistake, and what do they want and all that kind of stuff. Is like, they're all amazing human beings. And I think a lot of the message was just be a thoughtful human first and maybe a little bit of an actor second. And a lot of it was like, a lot of actors will ask, like, what are the don't do's, and like what are the do's and don'ts, or what are your pet peeves and things like that. And really it's just like be a grateful human being, and be a
Mm-hmm.
personable human being, and have some charm and have some humor, and don't be needy in the room. I think that was a lot of it, is just their message really to actors is, we're here to help, and we're here to create a safe space for you to bring your art and bring your craft into the room. And we're not here to what's the word, like intimidate you or evaluate you. Like they don't want, and Tom always says this in class too, where Tom is like, they don't want to be responsible for your self-esteem, or they don't want to, like, casting doesn't want to deal with
Yeah.
all your insecurities and all your all of those negative characteristics of humans. They just want to see someone shine and see someone have a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, focus on that when you're in the room, is just offering. And I saw Louis Beaumander, who's a fantastic acting coach here in Toronto as well. He said, like, one overarching idea about auditions is, remember, when you're going in, you're going to give, not to receive. So don't go in with a take mentality or a needy mentality, like I need a job or I need a role or I need a booking. It's, I'm coming in here to present, I'm coming in here to give, and I'm offering you my art and my pleasure and my joy, and I want you to
Mm-hmm.
see that, and I'm here to express. And Tom often says that too, where he says, act to be expressive, not to be impressive. And there's a big difference there.
Yeah. It was a great panel on Saturday that you moderated, Lars. I think what surprised me the most about that panel was how excited all three of the casting directors were to get back to in-person auditions. Because I think in my mind, for the past 2 years, I think of self-tapes as being such a great tool for actors to relax and like actually focus on the scene and not have to worry about, okay, I have 5 minutes to do the right thing before I'm booted out of the room. And so it was interesting to hear, like, they get more of a sense of who we are when we're in the room and that sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Just
Well,
because we've been here doing self-tapes and like pushing them to the next level, or attempting to in that sense. And I was just expecting them to be more excited about the self-tape process. But it was an interesting thing to hear.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think the exciting thing for them in self-tapes is they're able to cast a wider net, and they don't need people to be in that city to show up in a session. But really, the self-tape, if a casting director's title is casting director without an in-person session, they really lose the director portion, because there is no, that was great. Now, I'd like you to do one here where take this beat right here, where they actually get to impact and see if you can take some direction and take some change, or they have a sense, they've had conversations with production and with the director or the writers, and have a sense and a vision of the character. So if what you come in is strong, if what you come in with is strong in your first take, but they know in the back of their mind that the director's looking for a little more of this, they can sprinkle that on and dial you up. But they don't really have that opportunity in self-tapes. They just have to take what you gave them. And I mean, I guess they have the opportunity in a callback scenario, but not in the first room. But you're right, for actors, I think, like, as long as you have a proper self-tape process, and or resources like a studio or like professional readers to work with you to get over the tech hurdles, it's far more enjoyable for me anyways to do self-tapes, because you get a little more time, and there is the added stress of knowing, okay, this might be a one-shot deal, to just walk into the room, and a lot of things have to align for just that moment. But then the flip side to that is, that's really the high pressure scenario that you want to be prepping for, so that you can walk into a room, or almost like, it's a little bit like being on stage in theater, is if you get one take, you get one take, and in theater you get one take. You don't have a do-over. You can't stop mid monologue and be like, I'm going to walk out and come back out again. And so there's something to say for getting yourself to the performance level where you can walk into a live room, change the molecules, and just fucking nail it. And I think the difference is, it's that saying is, some people prepare and practice until they get it right, and other people prepare and practice until they can't get it wrong. So they've just drilled it over and over and over again. So it's just in their body, and they've released any stress and pressure. And I think a lot of the stress and pressure that people have in live auditions is that idea of like, oh, I hope I don't forget my lines, or I hope I get it. Do I know it? Am I going to do it? Am I going to get it right? And all that goes away when your prep is to a level where it's just like, I've done this a million times and done it backwards and forwards and every which way. I've done it 250 times. So you can't get it wrong. So that then, and they mentioned this in the casting process or in that casting panel, is they want an actor who is there ready to play and has rid themselves of the ego and the self-conscious and all of that. And they're just actually there, present in the moment, ready to play. So if something weird happens in a take, they just are rolling with it rather than being like, oh fuck, I fucked that up, can I start over? Like, that's just not ideal. So yeah, I can see how they, I mean, for them, they get to meet all the people. And the other thing that they said was, they're all of them, I asked them what's their favorite part. And I believe all three of them, Lisa, Alona, and Harriet, said their favorite part is offering jobs and being the bearer of good news, and often being life changers, or being the messenger, at least in a life-changing opportunity. Because casting directors aren't necessarily making the final decision, but they're putting forward a short list to the production. But often they're the ones who are contacting the agent and or the actor to say, congratulations, you booked it. And that's got to be a super gratifying thing to be able to do. Yeah, and it's like us when we help people with audition sessions here and help them with their self tapes. Our favorite thing ever is when they come back a week, two later and be like, "Oh, guess what? Remember that thing I taped last week with you? I booked it." And we're like, "Oh my god!" And you treat them like your kids, and I'm sure casting directors feel the same way. And Lisa Pearson said that is often she's been seeing actors on the come up, and you see them when they're brand new and maybe they're a little shaky, and then you see them over the years, especially if they've been training, they're getting better and better and better and stronger. Or you start to see actors where when she first saw them, they were coming in for 1 line, 2 line, 5 lines, and then now they're coming in for supporting, and now they're coming in for lead roles. So that's just a huge thing to get to witness and be a part of another human being's growth, and then eventually saying, yeah, you booked this lead role in this huge series, and it's a game changer for them and their families. So yeah, that's got to be amazing.
Yeah, got to be one of the, it's definitely one of the most rewarding feelings I've ever felt. Like I remember, I think it was Travis Milne that was the first person I found out that booked something from an audition that I had run with him. And nothing compares to that feeling. It was so exhilarating and so exciting, and I was so happy for him. Yeah, I think I jumped and hit the wall over there.
You did. You went woohoo! Classic BK broiler. All right, so we talked about casting. We talked a little bit about Movie Expo. What else do we want to talk about today?
Why don't we talk about a little bit about Comedy Alley?
Ooh, yes. Now, as the weather is getting better here in Canada and Toronto, we are looking at opening up Comedy Alley, of course, our intimate outdoor rooftop venue. I still don't know how to explain it to anyone who hasn't been here, but it is an alley on a roof, outdoors, and we have some of Canada's top comics. And last summer we started, and we're looking to start our second season this summer. We still don't have a hard date because it is weather dependent. And we keep getting teased with these beautiful spring days, and then it goes back to below zero. So we got to figure that out. But for those of you who want to be on board for those, let me start over. I'm going to give you a clean sound bite here. Okay. Ready? Here we go. Right. Here we go. Yes. Joanna says alley in the sky. Wait. There we go. There's the blur. The blur is gone. Do I need the kazoo? Yeah,
go get the kazoo. Go get your kazoo.
Do I know where it is?
Everyone, wait with anticipation. Oh, you found the kazoo.
It's been a while since I've taken requests on the kazoo. ABK, always be kazooing.
Always be kazooing.
Joanna knows it. She nailed it already. ABK, always be kazooing. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. The kazoo has spoken, which means Comedy Alley is coming back for season 2 here in Toronto at Laughing Vikings. So if you want to join us and your friends and your family for an intimate night of fun in our outdoor rooftop alley featuring some of Canada's funniest comedians, go to laughingvikings.com/comedy alley. You can join our VIP wait list, and that will get you first notified when we release the show dates, and that will also get you 50% off your first show. So go, 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 go. laughingvikings.com/comedy alley. Join the list, 50% off tickets, and you'll be the first to know when we start the shows. There. That's a hot Instagram reel right there.
Damn, nice soundbite. Nice soundbite.
That was clean. That was clean. No ums and ahs. No kinda, sorta, you knows. Just nailed it.
You got one more in you? You got one more in you?
What's this one for? You want to do 2?
This one is for Audition Hero.
All right. Kazoo or not? No kazoo. This is serious.
Up to you. Dealer's choice at this point. Yeah. Give me a pose. Give me a pose. Give me a starting flex, and then go into it.
With the flex?
Oh yeah.
Is this enough? Is this enough flexing?
Yeah. Whatever you're ready. Give me a flex, and then go launch into it.
All right. Attention actors, are you ready to step into your dream role in 2022? You can join us at Audition Hero. That was our 3-part training series. We're giving away the replays. So if you missed the live training, go to laughingvikings.com/audition hero and you'll get instant access to 3 transformative days where we talked all about becoming an audition hero and stepping into your dream role because the world needs more heroes. So go to laughingvikings.com/audition hero right now and become the hero that you've always needed to become. Heroes just mostly flex, right? Is that what they do? Heroes flex? Heroes flex? Look at those guns. Huh?
Nice. Look at that. Look at that.
Flying, everyone. Always kazoo. She's very disappointed at that.
Yeah.
Yes. This episode has been brought to you by Joanna Whaley and Kansas City. She's dominating. Valerie and
Heroes also sing.
Valerie Ann Giroux says, "Where's your beautiful hair?" Right. This. Were you talking about my hair? Is that what she's talking about? My hair? Because my head is mostly my head's mostly forehead. There's far more forehead than hair on my head. Yeah, look at this. Let's do this. Get close up. This is a close up. This is a reel here. Get them in. This is today's episode brought to you by Pantene Pro Plus conditioner and shampoo in one. I think my body wash. I have like 4 in 1. It's just like you can use this on any part of your body. It's body soap, face soap, foot soap, shampoo, conditioner. I think it removes nail polish. It'll clean your drains,
nice.
And so you can polish stainless steel with it.
It's always hard to get the ones that'll clean your drains as well.
Yeah,
they're always sold out.
It's like 9 in 1. Yeah. It removes paint, and it'll strip asphalt from a highway.
That's true efficiency. That's real efficiency.
Yeah. I don't see I don't want to start a gender war here or a sex war, but generally women have tons of bottles of all kinds of different creams and sauces in the bathroom, and guys have one that does it all. We just have one industrial size 11 in 1 cleaner that cleans everything, removes plaque. Joanna says, she says lotion for your forehead.
Moves plaque.
Who you calling forehead? I don't have a forehead. I don't have a 5 head. I have a 6 head. My head, it's not even 4. It's just all head. So here we go. All right. Well, now that we took care of that,
yes,
it's good stuff. We kind of have matching hair and foreheads. We look like we could be brothers, Brandon and I.
Yeah.
We have very similar hairlines. I believe it's called male pattern baldness. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
These ones here. Yeah, we have this, but we still have the middle part right here. And I have this weird tan from wearing a hat. I have this weird tan line too, where I have that
I get
forehead
one
tan.
too.
Yeah, I got to stop wearing hats because I get a tan, and then when I don't wear my hat, I have this extra white ring here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
need
should
to put more
stop.
makeup on. And then when I sit in makeup chairs, I end up having to get the makeup person. I watch the makeup people, and we're like, we have to fix some of this a little bit. Make you all one color. Your skin
Make
all
it
one
even
color.
throughout. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But thank you, Valerie, for asking where my beautiful hair was. That just led to some quality content.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
We're coming down to the home stretch here. You got an inspirational quote? Should we leave people with?
I do not this week. I do not have an inspirational quote this week. I wish I did. I do not.
What do we have? Where's my notepad? Stand by. This one? That's not the one.
What are some of your favorite quotes to inspire your weeks? Let us know in the comments.
Oh. Yeah, we had a great class today. I'm looking at what I wrote down, but early in the class, so I'll explain this. I'm in conservatory right now. We've got about 6 weeks left, but we've started some new classes, and today we had it's called Subversive Clown class, and the instructor was amazing. I think like everybody fell in love with him and fell in love with the class right away. It was so great, and he just said a lot of profound things. Like he was just blowing our minds. And you wouldn't think that going into a clown class, you think, oh, this is just gonna be wacky and silly and we're gonna have red noses and things. But it was like life mottos. I've opted for fun in this lifetime, Joanna says. Yeah, I'll just say a couple things that he said before. He was like, if you're taking notes right now, put your book away and don't take notes. He's like, just be present, be here. So that in and of itself was pretty cool. He said, courage and generosity, have the courage and generosity to be an idiot, is what he said. And he also said to have the courage to be vulnerable. And he said, in order to be funny or tragic or beautiful, there often has to be vulnerability there. He said, do things that put you in a position to be vulnerable. He said, cross the lines and push boundaries. He said, I don't know if he quite said this, but I wrote it down. My interpretation of it was get comfortable being uncomfortable. So just get used to feeling vulnerable and exposed. And the interesting thing he said, we were doing this exercise and we had to tell a story, but we had to look at everyone in Zoom on gallery mode. And it was very, I don't know, it was very revealing, and I just did it right there. You'll notice and I do it probably too much in the podcast, is right now I'm looking right at you through the lens. So you, the viewer, you're connecting with me in my eyes. But often when we don't know what to say or we're stuck, we do this and we look up and we look down and we look away. And it's because we're not sure or we're uncertain or we're looking for the answers and we're trying to solve something. And so as we were telling these stories, our instruction was, look at all the faces, stay front facing, and resist the temptation and the urge to look away. And everyone constantly was doing it. Anytime they got to a point where they didn't know what the next thing was or they didn't know the answer, it was just this and this and this. And his thought was, the audience needs to see that, to see your vulnerability. So show your eyes to the audience rather than the urge to look away and hide your vulnerability or hide the moments when you don't know what's going on or where you're struggling. So I felt that was really profound. And the thing I thought during the class was like, ooh, that's really going to help my live stream podcast game. So my promise to all the viewers and listeners is that I'll make more eye contact with you and I'll do less of this when I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll just stare at you like this and be like, I don't know what I'm talking about right now. That's the lesson.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this week. please tune in next Tuesday at 6 p.m. as we take on another episode. And we hit our 4 score.
4 score. Abraham Lincoln will be proud. Rumor has it, it's not confirmed. We have reached out to his agent. He may be a guest on next episode. It'll be the Abraham Lincoln episode.
Abraham Lincoln show.
Joao Pino says, clown class, great. To be vulnerable, funny, and share with others. Support each other on stage. Yeah. All right. Thank you for everyone. Thank you everyone for watching, for listening. Shout out to Joanna in Kansas City, Joao in Portugal, and Valerie as well. Where are you, Valerie? Are you in Toronto or are you in London? I forget where you're based in. Are you in New York? I forget. But let us know. Yes. And shout out to the BK Broiler and also to Rena Taylor and the Movie Expo as well.
Yeah. Shout out to you as well, Lars.
Ooh, to me? Who, me?
Yeah.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Ooh, shout it. You didn't shout. You just said that in a normal voice.
Shout out to you, Lars.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Brandon.
You're doing great over there.
You too, kid. You really got something.
You got the stuff.
Never quit, kid. Just keep it going. You got the goods.
Oh, and Joanna says, have a great week. Oh, BK, thank you.
Oh, I see how it is, Joanna. She says, have a great week, Brandon. Nothing to me. She's like,
yeah.
Screw Lars. I'll see you tomorrow in class, Joanna. All right. Goodbye. We'll see you next week.
See ya.